couple of videos back, I did talk about why most people dreaded Mondays. And one of the reasons that I know from my heart is that people dread Mondays because they are unfulfilled in their jobs. And what I advised was that go after your passion. But before you do that, you have to really have insight and you have to have the courage and you have to plan properly. To flesh up that point about quitting that job and doing what your heart beats for, I would like to give an example of someone who took the risk and followed his passion. This person is the most richest man in the world. He is my very own Jeff Bezos. Yes, the founder of the everything store, Amazon. You see, Jeff was an investment banker. He was actually the vice president at a hedge fund on Wall Street. D.E. Sean and Co. And he was doing very well. He was being paid well. He had worked for 8 years, but he was unfulfilled. He had this nagging feeling in his heart to go and do something more fulfilling. And one of the reasons why he decided to pack up and move on to start this dream with some of his colleagues was the fact that he got an insight into the rapid growth of the internet. But then his intention was right. I always like to point people in this direction. You want to follow your dream, you want to follow your passion, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't start up a business or you don't follow your passion because the intention is to make money. No. The intention shouldn't be to make money. The intention should be to make a difference. And when you want to take that leap and you just start being tormented in your mind about what if, the fear of the unknown, what actually gave him that courage and boldness to take the risk and leave his lucrative job was the question he asked himself. He said was a thought that kept nagging in his mind. What if he got to the age of 80 and in his quiet, reflective moment, he was thinking about the things that he could have done while he was strong and healthy, things he could have done while he had the chance, and the regrets that would overwhelm him if he didn't do what he actually wanted to do. And that was it for him. That thought and that question propelled him to pack up and leave and not to look back. And he started the Amazon bookstore. You may be wondering why books? Well, because he loves to read. And he decided that, there might be people who would want to read. So I will start an online bookstore, take advantage of the internet, and see how I can get books across online to people around the world. And from there, he grew, and the rest is history. After reading his book, The Everything Store, there were some lessons that I picked out that I would love to share with you. He grew up with the support of his grandparents, and he just had that environment where he was constantly reading and he was always finding out new things. He is someone who can inspire you to be focused. Jeff Bezos is focused. When I read that book, all I could sense was how focused it was. The energy of focus was so strong. It jumped from the pages of the book at me. If you really want to be successful and pursue that dream, you have to be focused. Refuse to give in to distractions, because a lot of us fall victim of distraction, and that will only draw you back. And he's so disciplined. He's so hardworking, and he is someone who is constantly evolving. He evolved from the bookstore to music, and now Amazon is the everything store. I'm sure you have bought something from Amazon. You wouldn't have been able to buy anything if it were not for the fact that Jeff decided to follow his intuition and follow his heart. The thing we need to know about these guys is that yes, they are successful, but understand that they had to go through a lot of experiences along the journey. But what keeps you grounded is your heart, is your intuition, is your focus. He is someone who is so into personal growth and development. You know, running such a big company, you have to understand that it's important that you're able to relate with people well. It can be really brutal. If you read the book, you can see where he tells his staff off and all of that. And I love the fact that an email was sent to him by one of his staff, or I think his colleague, and they pointed that out to him, and he felt sober, and he got himself a coach who would teach him how to relate with his staff. You know, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, but what I admire about Jeff is his ability to improve studios. He loves to read, and when he reads, he implements the ideas that he has read from some of the amazing books that he lays his hands on. And one of those books is Good to Great by Jim Collins. You know, if you want your company to transcend from just being a good company to an amazing great company, then that's the book to read. And so Jeff Bezos reads and he implements brilliant ideas in his company. He's also someone who is customer centered. I learned from his book that he was always trying to bid down prices in order to satisfy the customer. You can't satisfy the customer and go wrong. I'm telling you, it is a proven, tested principle that if you take care of your customers will in turn take care of you by spreading the goodwill of your company to other customers who will need your services. Have you read The Everything Store? Have you picked one or two ideas you would like to share with us on the platform? If you have, please feel free to drop your ideas, your perspective, your comments in the comment section so that we can learn and grow. I will see you in my next video. Peace and angels.